do from this point forward is do the whole lore discussion and playthrough and live stream it. I found it's just taking me too long to record the footage, edit the footage. It's too many hours, and I'm busy at work. I just don't have the time to put 25, 30 hours into video after video. I've already done most of this about half the video before I decided to start doing this. I actually had it half completed, but it's taking too much time. So I'm going to use the footage I have, create this video talking through the lore. And then from then on, I'm going to just do a live stream and talk as I go along. I'm pretty sure I know enough about at least the base game. I can talk about the lore all day long on that. We'll see when I get to the DLC. I still have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. But that's how I'm going to do this from now on. It just saves me a lot more time. Like it's too difficult to work 50 hours a week and then try to make videos. I just don't have the time. So let's get started. Where I left off last time was defeating I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Margit, the Fell Omen. And right after we do that, we now get the cutscene. Skip ahead.
Forgive me. I've been testing you to see whether or not grace truly does guide you, and whether you are fit to face the challenge that entails. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very...
And right here we're told yet again, Torrent seems to be the one that recognizes who we are and why we're here. Essentially picking us out of all the other Tarnished, where Melina just wasn't sure.
Start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hold, gathering place of Tarnished champions, guided by grace.
It's got to be noticed by other people playing the game. You know, no one once mentions her throughout the rest of the game. No one ever asks, how did you get to the Round Table Hold? Like, do you have a finger maiden? I've always found that odd that no one seems to be recognizing that she's our finger maiden. They just know that we appear to have one, but no one ever recognizes her or seems to ask who your maiden is. I've always found that odd in the game.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
And here we are in the Round Table Hold. The first person we meet is Sir Gideon Ofnir. This is where I change it so I can clear up my HUD.
This is a rare occasion. I can't remember the last time a new Tarnished made their way to the Round Table.
It's one of the things that's interesting here is there are not any new, doesn't appear to be at least, any new Tarnish entering the Lands Between.
Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard.
And right here, he's telling us to let down our guard because, well, we know he eventually tries to double cross us. And that's essentially what he's doing. He's trying to make it so, like, if he sees fit, he can have us killed.
house guest. Yet to earn their keep. Remember your place, newcomer. There's nothing left to say. Be at your leisure.
And this is where we learn where he's just a complete asshole who's out for it. And the more we talk to him, we begin to realize he's out for himself 100%. When he does double cross us, he looks at us like we didn't see it coming, which we should have. There's enough clues.
I see you've just arrived. Welcome to the Round Table Hold. I'm Corin, a man of the cloth. I teach incantations, the strength granted us by the two fingers.
This is something you need to understand. This Round Table Hold is a creation of the two fingers.
And explore the secrets of the Golden Order, so that one day, if a tarnished of the Round Table Hold should become Elden Lord, I might counsel them, ensuring order regains its proper form, righting rule over men.
And that's one of the most important things, is they're trying to rule over men themselves. And we'll see it when we actually talk to the finger reader in a little while. It's this idea that this rule over men, they bring happiness to everybody.
By the way, do you still see it? The guidance of grace.
I do.
You do? Wonderful news. Most tarnished are blind to it these days.
This is something we'll see also, is people asking us the same thing. Do we see the grace? Because most of them have lost it, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with them not staying on the path, and it's literally stripped from them. They just don't see it anymore. It's basically an abandonment of the two fingers if they don't think you're doing what they want, if you're not doing what they want you to do.
You are something of a rare breed. Well, what do you say? Care to learn an incantation of the two fingers?
Let's see. Right here, the descriptions is what I want to look at. Fire. These are pretty good. So what I do want you to see is right in this area. See these two rings? All spells have some type of symbol behind them. The two fingers are these two rings right here. There's a fort we're going to see on the mountaintop of the giants. It's the area where they were actually repurposing the trolls. This sign right here is on the flags. It's symbolizing the two fingers. It's the two fingers that actually created the trolls, or at least their magic. We see them up in that area. There's a couple of them that move around. Some of them are just sitting in a dormant state. So right here, this double circle actually symbolizes the two fingers, and we'll see this on every incantation. It can be hard to spot on a lot of the spells because there's usually like a picture in front of it. But I'll show you another one here soon that has to do with giants. But yeah, anytime you see this double ring, it looks like it's made of runes. That's actually the symbol of the two fingers. It's something of their own creation. And actually, it's these spells here that kind of tell us what's going on with the two fingers, how the Round Table Hold is a creation of the two fingers. And it also kind of tells us why all the Tarnish are just kind of like, screw this. They don't have any interest in joining the two fingers. It's like heart tarnished. If you truly walk in faith, you must be prepared to reject all else. Follow them, nobody else. So this is actually a really, notice there's nothing behind that, or if there is, it's covered up. It's fire, which is something that's kind of against the Golden Order. The Flame of Ruin is anathema of the Erd Tree, but prophets sometimes glimpse it within the faith all the same. Sadly, when this occurs, the sole reward is banishment. The incantation originating from a sinister prophecy, the prophecy that the Erd Tree will eventually burn. It's not so much a prophecy that's sinister, it's the prophecy that the Golden Order will eventually come to an end. This spell, even though they are using it, originates with the fire giants. Yeah, but same thing sadly with Kurz. They banish anyone who actually sees the prophecy of the Erd Tree burning. Skip ahead. All right, here's another one. Double ring in the back. Follow the path that has been set before you, and you will make enemies of all others. The monks, which at this point you wouldn't have any idea what that is. The sorcerers, that's the next area. The ancient dragon knights, still probably don't have much of an idea what that is. And the scions of gold. Heed me, the lands between offers no welcome to the tarnished. We kind of grasped this right in the beginning. Most of these enemies, you really at this point in this game don't really understand what the hell they're talking about because you haven't really come across these. But the lands between offer no welcome to the tarnish. Well, you fought Margit, so you basically hear that from his own mouth. Even notice that the spell, the incantation on the floor around his feet is the double circle. These are all two fingers faithful incantations. Come on. Right here, the two finger has high hopes for the tarnished. Even if they should be wounded, even should they fall, they will continue to fight for their duty. Notice what these are. These are this cures poison, this increases fire damage negation, increase magic damage negation. Notice the spells of the two fingers. Not so much on these aren't part of the two fingers. These are, and they're all designed to negate damage. It's actually one of the best sides of the Golden Order is their ability to deflect damage and stop damage. The Golden Order and even the two fingers really aren't big into doing a lot of heavy damage with their incantations. It's more personal defense. It's what actually makes the mages so disgusting. They have the best offensive spells in the game, and most people will say the game's broken because of it. Like, play the easy class, play the mage. Well, lore-wise, they're supposed to be that way. It's why the Golden Order, after 3 skirmishes with them, eventually had to go a different route about taking him down because they couldn't physically defeat him because they're just too powerful. Skip ahead. Same thing. See, it's about healing. I don't think I did the last one. Did I not? Yeah. These two are actually healing. One's a single heal, the other one's heals to people around them. All right.
May the golden ortations, is it, through you? Further study of incantations, is it? I can happily spare the time and applaud your enthusiasm. May the golden...
Okay, so we're walking around. We talk to the bodyguard. What do you want? We find the creepy huss just sitting here, but we're still able to notice that right there. Two rings, 2 fingers. Request the aid of a hunter. 100% remember everything. I think it might be buying armor at this point. So here's something that is interesting. The hall. I haven't jumped down there yet. So notice how Queen America's over on this side. Queen America, who you essentially almost always see in pictures. You see her from one side, even in the, I think it was even in like the early promotional videos, you always see her from this left side of her face. On this side is Radagon. And both Elden Lords. Let's put it that way. He's T-posing, where you see him later on. You see him from his right side. I don't know if the right side, left side has a actual symbolism behind it. This seems to be the source of the grace right here.
Ah, hello. You must be new here. Well, just call me Dialos. The honor of one's house holds little import in these lands. By the way, have you met a young woman named Lanya on your travels? She's my servant, but fickle as the wind.
We won't find her
Take
till
your
the
eyes off
next
her for
area.
a moment and she's good as gone. If you find her, please be sure to tell me. Be sure to tell me if you meet a young woman named Lanya. She's a servant to my house. She's been my companion since childhood. I've lost count of the number of times I've had to find her like this. Honestly, she's such a little tomboy.
Come over here. This is the smith. He's a misbegotten. Born of the crucible.
Yes,
So, come on. Talk to him.
you're a new face. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms. Let's get smithing. I see you've noticed the chains. Nothing special. I'm a prisoner and these are my chains. I'm trapped by the hold.
See, he's a prisoner. It's an interesting thing where he says he's trapped by the hold. Undying smithing for you fools. Like, this is literally his prison. Which asks the question, are there some other people who are trapped in this hold? Which I'll talk about later. I'm pretty sure there are. Or at least it's maybe hinted at.
Undying smithing for you fools. That's all there is to it. No, don't read too much into it. Well, no grudge against you. My being a prisoner is no fault of yours. Besides,
There's a good chance we'll hear him praying to America. It's very much may be the reason why he's a prisoner here. He appeared to be attempting to make a weapon to kill a god. And I think the idea now is the weapon that needs to be made isn't a physical weapon that can kill a god. It needs to be a person. Is the weapon.
I don't mind smithing. Despite my differences, the weapons get stronger all the same. Given time, technique never fails. Besides, it helps me forget the sheer terror of her.
There's a good chance what he's referring to is Queen America. And it makes me wonder if when she was locked in the tree, which for those who don't know, this entire hold isn't the actual hold. We're basically, I don't know, partially in the tree, I guess, or at least part of the magic of the tree has created this, because when we set the tree on fire, the hold starts burning along with the outside of the tree. So this is actually essentially part of the tree in some way or form. At least it's magic. It does make me wonder whatever him America may have attempted to do. The terror he's talking about is he may have been there when she was locked away, or at least when her idea may have failed. Here are his weapons. Skip ahead. This is an interesting area down here. Can't get in there, but we can't get behind these doors, and there's good reason why these are locked away. It's because of what they contain. The crepice bolt, or the crossbow. Weapon of crepice, who served the two fingers from the shadows of the round table as the head confessor. This begins to show us that the two fingers have a darker side to them. It's an assassin weapon. That's what this is. We don't necessarily see this right here, but it's in this next room. We open this up. We get an interesting book, the Assassin's Prayer Book, which if you go back and look, has the two finger symbol on it. Yeah, Prayer Book of the Round Table holds assassins. Something the two fingers don't want known, or at least broadly known. Here we meet Fia, the deathbed companion.
Greetings.
That picture's actually interesting. If you look right here, you'll notice America has two locks. The long one, the short one. This one's missing, and we eventually find out what happened to this one in the expansion. And her sitting, being this idea, it looks like she's hanging from a cross. It's a bit of foreshadowing. Yeah, the whole Erd tree's so creepy. It's always looked off to me, the whole tree.
Greetings, great champion called by grace. I am Fia. Circumstances have compelled my stay at the Round Table Hold.
This is a hint to why she's here. She's here because there's not supposed to be any violence at this round table hold. So she's hanging out here because of the protection in the round table hold.
Great champion, would you allow me to hold you? But briefly, perhaps you might share with me some of your lively vigor and your stout-heartedness. Doing so will grant me the warmth of a champion, and you, I am sure, will bear a Baldakin's blessing. Do you think it vulgar, perhaps? Where I come from, it is a sacred act. Ah, my...
So she gives us a hug.
Light up inside you was a Baldakin's blessing. Though it is but a fleeting thing, I will take you in my arms.
So we get a buff we can turn on. Unfortunately, the whole thing debuffs you until you use it.
Would you like to be held?
No, I'm good. Right here. The favor allows one to forget any aches and pains. In death, there is only peace. For in death, there can be no sensation. Favor bestowed by a deathbed companion. Protection of a hidden temple in the guise of a bedchamber. Yeah. If anyone uses this, use it immediately to get rid of it. That's all you have to do. Turn it on, it'll wear off. Let's go back and talk.
The study of incantations, is it? I can have. That is a work of.
Interesting, it's a work of heresy, even though it's from the Two Fingers. In many ways, he's naive. Or I think, in all reality, he's more of the Golden Order. One of the things we have to realize is at this point, the Golden Order and the Two Fingers are no longer working together. So to him, it's heresy. At one time, it was basically when the two were working together, they didn't give a shit. Kill those who talk bad about. To talk bad about the Golden Order was also to talk bad about the Two Fingers. He sees it as heresy, but it was just something he was never privy to, what was going on behind the scenes.
Heresy. Its incantations bear no lineage from the Erd Tree.
None that you know of. And I think this is part of the idea that he's ignorant about the actual history of the Golden Order. The Golden Order, as people know it, is essentially a lie.
Very well. I'll take it off your hands.
But he still teaches us, though. Let's see what it has to say. Create an incantation of the Two Fingers servants who served as assassins of the Round Table. Creates a veil of darkness that conceals the caster. The assassins were themselves once tarnished, who had strayed from guidance, and they pursued their duty in the darkness that is without grace. This is probably why so many tarnished just opt not to go with the Two Fingers, because if you don't do what they want, they will just have you eliminated. What's the other one? Come on. Completely silences the footsteps of the caster. Additionally, reduces fall damage and the sound produced by falling. The assassins were charged with eliminating Tarnish, who had strayed from guidance. Yeah, these things are completely set up to eliminate enemies of the Two Fingers. These aren't the only assassins the Two Fingers employ either. I believe that might be it for this area. That was horrible. Stormhound, Round Table. This is where I was just buying crap.
What do you...
Oh, he's in his room now. Let's have a quick talk to him.
What do you need? I have little time to spare. Oh, are you aggrieved at the notion you are but a visitant here? Then you would do well to remember the first words of grace given to you.
The first words of grace given. What he's referring to is the opening of the game.
You stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
That's what we hear when we're coming up. When You see us coming back to life on the ground. It's probably why the in that opening sequence, he, whoever's narrating it gets really loud and dramatic when he's naming off all the tarnished who are coming back. And then he becomes. I didn't realize at first until I started looking at this again. It's why he goes kind of silent when he's like, "Oh, and one more," and all of a sudden, like, that's what we're actually hearing when he says that. When he's almost whispering it, he's like, "Cross the fog to the lands between, stand before the Elden Ring, and become Elden Lord."
And before the Elden Ring,
So that means
and become
all Tarnish hear that when
Elden
they're
Lord. If those words
brought back.
have any meaning to you, follow the guidance of grace. Lay low the shard bearers, and claim for yourself a great rune.
Will do.
Do so, and the doors to the round table's inner chamber will open.
Let's take a look at what he says right here.
Do so,
Do so, and the doors of the round table's inner chamber will open. So, I do have a question about this. Is this a rule he set up, or was it a rule for this whole round table hold? Because we find out later he actually talks to his two fingers and is able to basically get a lot of information out. For us to do it, we first have to get a great rune, and then those doors open. Now I ask, so if it wasn't set up, if this whole thing wasn't set up by him, did he get a hold of a great rune? Which you're asking, well, how could he have done that? There's one great rune that's always been unaccounted for in the entire game, and that is Ronnie's great rune. And I've wondered because he even talks about how Ronnie cast her rune aside, and I wonder if he didn't get a hold, if he's not the one who didn't get a hold of it. Not that he would want it for any reason. I do wonder if he didn't get a hold of it, because to actually activate the rune and gain its power, you actually have to go to their two fingers of the shard bearer to reactivate it. The problem is Ronnie's tower doesn't have any two fingers. He would never be able to reactivate it. And it has always posed a question to me, like, now it could also be Ronnie's mother there. That might be Ronnie's rune. It's hard to say. The timeline's a little goofy in this game, but I do know he is at odds with someone in the lakes of in the Liurnia of the Lakes. There's a wizard there, I think, or is it an Albinoric? I can't remember. We'll come across it when we get to it. But he kind of has a fight with him, and I do wonder if he actually got into Ronnie's tower, got to her body, got a hold of her rune. And that's what actually caused the schism between him and the other guy. That's why they hate each other. Maybe they had a deal worked out. He stole it for himself and then was able to gain access. Because to him, the greatest power you can have in the world is knowledge.
and the doors to the round table's inner chamber will open, and you will receive the wisdom of the two fingers. Once the wisdom of the two fingers becomes your own, I'll impart to you a proper welcome. As a true member of the round table, I have high hopes for you. I'm sick and tired of them. These namby-pamby tarnished think us no more than a shelter from the rain. We've spoken long enough. I have matters to attend to.
He probably hates them just for the simple fact they're just not going along with him. And I'll just point it out right now. All of these books you see here on the table, what he's looking at, aren't actual books. They are memories of the Erd Tree. his quest line is we kill the shard bearers, come back, tell him what we found out about him, and he gives us a reward. Every single reward is a knowledge based reward. All the books in this room represent knowledge the Erd tree of the Erd that the Erd tree itself appears to have collected, and he's sitting here going through all of it, learning everything he can, because that's what he probably hasn't left this round table hold since he got here. Once he realized this is basically his ability to look through all the history and knowledge of the Erd tree. He's just sitting here reading it, and he's trying to send everybody out. It's why he hates all the Tarnish that come in and won't do what he says, because he can't increase what is essentially his own power and knowledge. Let's see where I'm at now. I think part of this is where I quit. Okay, we're back here. We're on our way into the castle. Castle that is crumbling.
You're tarnished, aren't you? I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle. It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands. Oh, try the opening right here.
Notice he's missing an arm, or at least part of his forearm. Probably chopped off, grafted to what could possibly be his father. I've heard some lore saying that this is actually Godric's son.
The guards don't know about it. You'll breach the castle undetected.
If anyone doesn't know, as you go through this castle, when you die, he's following you through the entire castle. He'll steal any runes you drop. Also notice the thing he's wearing around his neck. The original form of the Erd tree is the crucible. I mean, what we see is symbols of basically a mass of roots with a hole in it. I don't know if this might be a symbol of the crucible. The crucible knights actually have armor that shows what essentially looks like a mass of roots with a hole in the middle, with what appears to be a hole. That's a whole thing I'm going to talk about later on. The Erd tree, the crucible, the expansion, and where it takes place.
Yes, that's the spirit. You're just the kind of tarnish that I like.
Stupid, and
I pray for your success.
we're kind of dumb, or at least ignorant. We accept everything he says is truth.
Yeah, that opening.
You can force the gate open, tell him to open the gate if you want. Or you can go this route. I just went this route just to pick up some stuff, and plus it's pretty interesting what we see. There's rune fragments, which I'll be talking about in a little while. The creepy stone that's actually morphing, has that scaly look to it. I always thought this place was falling apart because of war. There appears to be something far darker. These hawks have symbolism here. Godfrey appeared to have killed some type of creature that was basically something. Well, I think we find there's an ash we can find that actually has one of these birds on it. It appeared to have lived here at one time. It was kind of like the god of wind, I guess is the closest way to put it. At least he ended up defeating it. We can't use the ash. It's actually, believe it or not, it's sitting over here. And inside this castle. It's part of Neferilu's quest line for her to take over the castle again. We can't use it because they're not actually related to Godfrey, but she is. But yeah, the ashes won't actually summon for us. But you take that and you end up giving it to her. It's upstairs here. Like the doors, I think, are blocked off. We'll come back to this later. You can finish up her quest line by giving it to her, and she can actually take over the castle once more. But that's what those birds represent. The idea there's a storm. It's one of the themes in the game that there are beings that actually represent different aspects of life. Fire, death, wind. Water is not so much in water and death are kind of like two of the same. I don't know why I'm talking to this guy. Oh, here we are. Notice the thorns on the walls. The marred leather shield has thorns. And look at these guys. You'll notice right here, they have thorns all over them. It's because thorns represent a curse in some way. I don't think being here has cursed them. I'll talk about it in a second. Skip through this. See the giant thorns all along here. Giant thorns all along here. This castle has at least a quasi-curse to it, though the curse may have been either slowed down or at least it might still be slightly creeping. It's hard to say. Most of the guys in here have thorns growing over them. These guys don't. This is and that's one of the things I wonder. Just being in the castle doesn't necessarily mean you're being cursed. One of the things you'll notice is these guys don't appear to have any of the thorns on them. It's just the knights. If being in proximity was causing the thorns, they should all have them on them too, but we don't see that. These are the holes forming. It's one of the first things we hear about Saint Trina, which will come in much later in the game. Oh, we don't see anything there. So notice the walls right here. Let me see a better look. The walls go from rock and they almost turn to scale. They have a scaly look to them. We'll find out what that is much later on in the game, where the scales are coming from. Some of the things growing on the walls just kind of look like just ivy. It's not all curse like these things right here. It's the actual green. Skip around this. Moving up, you see more of these stone scales. I'm looking for a very specific thing to point out here. I can't necessarily. Don't remember where it's located at. Come on, where is it? This is where we're betrayed by that shithead. He locks the door behind us. He giggles like a psychopath. Cool. Notice their attacks are wind-based also. Oh, come on. Why is it degrading this bad? Skip ahead. Talon. it's Saturday and too many people are playing. Skip ahead. Skip ahead. Skip ahead. Skip. Okay, that's what I want to show you right here. Look at this. This hole right here. If you go back to my other video where I'm fighting the was it the boat keeper? I can't think of his name at the moment. There are masses where they have the scales. This is basically the sign of the Prince of Death. This right here looks as if it's missing the eyeball that would have the eyelid on it. We actually see it in a couple different areas here. There's one here. There's one above here also. But this hole is a perfect spot where the eye for the spreading of the Prince of Death should be. There should be eyes all over this place because these massive roots, we see it with the death root. This looks like there's an eye missing. Now, I think there's one or two reasons of why this is here. Like why the scales are here all over the castle. Either they had an original idea where they were going to make maybe the Prince of Death like one of the first enemies you fight in the game. Therefore, this castle was supposed, because he is part of the lineage of the Golden Order, or he was, that this was supposed to be maybe a castle of death. It was supposed to be basically like his castle, even though he is dead. Hence, like, the eye should be here along with all the thorns and the scales. It should look like the death root. And maybe somewhere along the line they changed it and they brought Godric the Grafted in and essentially tried to, instead of reskinning the entire thing, they just removed parts of it. So that was one. It was either a change in design, or two, which I also wonder if Godric the Grafted soldiers actually pry the eyes out here. And essentially, when they attacking the eyes, attacking the eye, prying it out, actually curses them. And I think that's actually valid because when we find the wizard will be coming across here soon. We actually see him. He's messing around with the Prince of Death's what he refers to as, was it the ancient artifact, that weird body down at the base of the castle. He tells us not to touch it. He ends up being cursed, and much like the soldiers in the castle, he himself gets cursed. He has like the barbs growing all over his body. It's because he's slowly dying. And I wonder if that's why all these soldiers actually have the thorns on them, because they actually went through and pried these eyes out. And in turn, they were cursed upon doing it. I'll show you when we get down to it what I'm talking about. I notice all the where there should be eyes in this castle, with the weird scaling of the walls, there's no eyeballs. There should be one here, maybe one there. You got the weird thorns. The castle is physically changing form. The stone is physically right there. Should probably be an eyeball right there. They're all removed, but everyone in the castle appears to have a curse upon them. Oh, Roger. Roger gets cursed when he's messing around with that weird thing down at the base of the castle. We'll see it in a little while. This is me just looking at it. Realize it's two different textures. Because it does tell us later on that Godric the Grafted wasn't always in this castle. There was actually someone here before him. He appears to have come in and kind of taken over the area. So maybe that was something that was starting to creep into the area when he came in. He essentially had his soldiers remove it because we don't see the thorns on Godric the Grafted either. This appears to basically be the soldiers. Now, whether the decay has stopped or is just slowed down, that's something they never really tell us about in the game. We can speculate at best. These guys are so nasty to fight at low level. They are cool, though. Cool looking enemy. Not cool that he killed me and I have to run all the way through to get back to him. Skip through. I don't think I even unlocked that yet in the game. There's probably stuff I need to go through this entire level to finish unlocking. This is one of the coolest mechanics I think they brought into the Dark Souls series. The idea that you can jump, but it basically unlocks the entire roof. Part of the level. Why it took so long for them to put jumping in the game is beyond me. I mean, not just run up to a ledge and auto jump holding a button down. Actual jumping. Actual jumping mechanics. Attacks. Oh, I'm getting murdered. Shooting wind at me. This game's really brutal in the beginning. Oh, look, that's what I was talking about down in the castle. Skip, 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 skip. What do we get up here? Oh, the claw talons. I can't wait to get to that in the game. It's a cool little story. These things are so nasty in the game. Giant birds with swords attached to their feet. There is nothing worse in this game than fighting an animal. I think I have died more to dogs and birds in this game than I have to the actual demigods. Jump down. Yeah, it's Roger. It's who we meet here.
Ah, nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed. I'm looking for a little something here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormvale Castle? This place is bristling with tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind. I see. Here to challenge Godric and lay your hands upon a great rune, are you? You can see it then, I take it. The guidance of grace. Well, enjoy it while you can. I'm tarnished, like you, but Unlike you, I've seen neither hide nor hair of this guidance for the longest time.
So he's lost it himself. I wonder if, well, him straying from the path, we find out later his whole thing is he actually wants to find out history and the truth of what's happened. That's probably the reason why he's lost guidance, because the two fingers in the golden order don't really want truth and understanding to come out. They just want you to believe whatever the hell they tell you.
Still, I won't forget how it felt when I first came here, to the lands between. I'm privy to a few magical battle arts. Would you care to learn one? As a fellow Tarnished, once guided by grace, I'd love to help you out, if it please.
He sells Ashes of War.
Oh, keen to learn another
Go a little further. Notice no thorns. It's a cool shield. Like everything about these guys is actually really cool. Cool shield, cool sword, cool armor. Game does armor and weapons. Really good aesthetics in this game. I do love the idea of when you see this, when you see the Erd tree, the idea that it looks so close and yet it's so far away at the same time. Right here. So let's take a look at this. This is one of those scions. If you don't realize, or haven't realized in the game, so the shard bearers have the ability to essentially create their own children. That is one of Godric's children. In case you don't- I know there's a idea that only the most powerful, the demigods, can create their own children. I've seen some lore videos, and it kind of made sense at first, but when you take a look at this, you realize Godric the Grafted is actually creating his own children, creating his own kind. That's what these are. These are young children that are basically have a bunch of body parts grafted onto them, legs, extra arms, to basically match him. Um, you see it throughout the entire game. The only one I can think, who else doesn't? The Star Scourge, you can kind of say he's creating his own quote unquote children if you say like he was a battle warrior, so his men basically were drawn to him. You see basically like the Blade of Mikola, her whole like the rot basically creates those weird bug creatures. They actually spawn from her magic. Mikola, you see when he was going into his cocoon as he was gonna morph into Saint Trina, like other people in the Halig tree started going into their cocoons also, so he was kind of like creating his own people. Ronnie isn't creating anybody because she doesn't really seem to give a crap. She just wants to get the hell off this planet. Her brother, what's that? Rykard is basically creating the Snake Men. Is there anybody else? Moog is kind of creating his own people, at least giving him like introducing people into blood magic, which is altering them. Morgoth's basically just he actually loves the Golden Order, even though it doesn't give a crap about him. The Glow-Eyed Queen. Oh, she's an Empyrean. She basically creates she creates her own little children in the god skins. I'm trying to think of anybody else. But yeah, these are essentially his children. He's creating what are essentially he sees himself as someone from the Golden Order. These are like upper elites from the main cities taking these children, basically grafted body parts. He's creating his I don't want to say followers, but just his children. They all have the ability to do that. It's up to them if they decide to do it. It has to do with the power of the runes, of the great runes they hold, because that's essentially what America was doing the entire time. Like all the people of the lands between, well, not the mages, but all the people of the Golden Order are her creation, using the Erd tree to create her own people. That's the Banished Knight armor we get from him. Mimic's Veil. This is kind of a hint at what America has the ability to do, and that is change form. Great treasures. Like, look at it here, right here. When Godric was hounded from Lendel, the royal capital, this is one of the multitude of treasures he took with him, also known as America's Mischief. See that right there? That's the old symbol of America and Godric. Kind of take a look at it. I don't know. To me, it kind of looks like it could be the symbol of the dragon or the Elden Beast. Weird ass tail it has, arms, quasi head. Don't know if that's actually what it's supposed to represent, but the symbols of those who have had power over the Erd trees change so much. It keeps changing. I'll go into it more as I come across it. Oh. Now, I don't have actual footage of me killing this, but yeah. That is miniature Godric the Grafted right there. I do wonder if they went this route in some ways, along with like the weird little hand monsters we find, to get around people who have the creepy who get creeped out, I should say, by spiders, because he's essentially a spider. It's even referred to as these being spiders. The idea you're getting a multi-legged creature. The game doesn't seem to contain like any actual spiders. Maybe because they didn't want to put an arachnophobia mode in the game, so they can technically be like, well, it's not actually a spider. We don't have to waste our time putting arachnophobia mode in. Turn it into a happy face. These things are so nasty in the beginning. You get a few levels under your belt. Get another whetstone. It's coming to an end here soon. Skipping ahead. Great, it's a shortcut. Okay, let me stop this. So right here is where we actually fight the Erd Tree Spirit. I didn't save when I fought it, so I don't have the footage. It died. If you ever want to know how to beat this easy, just run over to the to this right here. Stand next to it, and he can't hit you. He tries turning, you just kill him right over here. It's very simple way to beat it. But the interesting thing about this is notice the weird vines. And there's something also interesting here. Notice there's no eyeballs. All the eyeballs in the place are gone. There's no eyeballs here. There's no eyeballs on the wall. The whole area is missing eyes. Like I said before, either they changed what they were going to do with this area, or the idea was they came down and messed with this thing along with taking all the eyes out of the castle, and it's the reason why all these guys are cursed, because they were screwing around with it. Because Roger right here is screwing around with this thing. We don't see what's going on, but he's being impaled by the thorns. It's basically the death thorns. When we meet him again, we'll actually see it on his legs. It's eventually what kills him. Take this long trip up. That's the way to get down. Save. Grab some runes. Level up. Never have too many levels. Always remember, your first time playing through is the easy mode. Just under leveled is all you are. That's what makes it appear so difficult. Skip through. One of the seeds of the Erd Tree. Here's Neferi Lou. This is where we get her quest line.
You were a fine warrior. Your only mistake was your choice of master. Let the winds lift you to a higher place. Well, who do we have here? Tarnished, are you? Clearly not one of Godric's lot. I am Nefeli Lou.
Nefeli Lou.
Tarnished and warrior, like you. I'm here by decree of my father. How utterly repellent this is. This grafting of Godric's ill befits a lord. He's tainted the very winds. If you intend to challenge Godric, I ask you call upon me. The winds run foul with his deeds. I'm certain father would permit me aid the fight. Apologies, but I've idled long enough. As fellow Tarnished, we must each follow our own guidance, down whatever road takes us to the throne of Elden Lord. Apologies, as fellow down what.
Just run by these guys. You don't have to fight them. This is where we come across more of the jars. They're not nearly as nice as Alexander. Seal the Erd Tree upon them. We begin to realize they're full of meat. Weird meat dumplings. His storyline's interesting. What is that? Runes. Skip ahead. Surely what you seek is somewhere close by. Roger. Yeah. Notice how the yeah. There's a lot of running around. Takes you down. So I think I actually bring her into the fight with me the first few times just for like the lore idea, and then I realize it's easier just to fight him without her. You're essentially summoning her outside of the fighting area, which means it doubles his hit points. It turns the fight a lot harder having her there, even though she's technically part of the lore. Some bosses are easier to fight with a NPC, some are not.
Thou art a true born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights.
Oh, look, extra fingers.
Well, a lowly tarnished, playing as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden.
I'll kneel right down on your neck, sir. Yeah, I fought him a few times. So here's one of the things that's a pain in the butt when you have a summoned character in your party. I'm sure other people have noticed it. My weapon I'm using so slow.
Thou art unfit even to
Sometimes he'll be attacking her, even if you come up behind him. The bosses will suddenly swing around, just wail you right in the face. Like their targeting has sometimes can shift back and forth between you and them. That's why sometimes it's just easier not to bring a summoned person in, because at least you can at least time the dodging you need properly. It's a cool looking boss. I remember the first time I fought this guy, I thought he was so hard. He actually isn't. Not difficult at all. He's a cool looking boss, though. Nightmare of a man. Notice his ability has a lot to do with his rune that he actually has in himself.
strongest of dragons.
The description is it's the anchor, so he can just kind of anchor things to himself,
Lend me thy strength.
essentially grafting things to himself. Is it me or does it look like there's scarlet rot all over that dragon? He kills me here. I believe this time I'm just like, yeah, I'm not bringing her. I bring my jellyfish. Which isn't doing jack squat. Except it's easier if you can just get in front of him. Get him in front of you. His attacks aren't that difficult to block. It's definitely much easier fighting one-on-one. Or at least having your stupid, look at that damage crank up. That 10 damage I'm doing every, 5 seconds for my jellyfish. Bad dodging on my part. Somehow I missed him and I'm wielding a 10-foot pole. I still couldn't hit him.
I am the Lord of all that is golden, and one day we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
Notice all the flowers in the area are golden also. He's literally changing the, causing the ring is literally causing flowers to spring up where he's sitting, where he's living at.
What a pathetic excuse for a lord you were.
And notice actually how small his body actually is once the rune is removed. It goes back to being normal. We see that a few times in the game. We see it with was it Morgot? After we kill him, essentially we take the rune, his body shrinks back down. He's not nearly as large without the rune. But that's literally all that's left of that man. It's just a torso. Looks kind of like a shriveled piece of beef jerky.
Bone, pushing me about like that, and after all that grafting, where did that get you? Look down on me, would ya? Godric, you filthy slug. Feel it, feel it, feel my bloody wrath. Oh, hello there. This weasel was Godric. things to you. I tell you though, what goes around comes around. He had an ugly heart, an uglier countenance, and met the ugliest of ends, eh?
He's just like the rest of the Golden Order in all reality.
Now, I suppose I'm free. I can do whatever takes my fancy. Can I, mate?
Head in here. Notice this throne is sitting on something else. I do wonder what that symbol is on the floor under the chair. Shows what looks like almost probably the original, or at least what formed the original Erd tree, original great tree. Skip through. We go down. This is the second time. Talk to a spirit, dear maiden, where are you? Please take my grapes, referring to the eye, the Shabriri grape, which is literally an eyeball. Yellowing, oozing eyeball of the infirm. Yellowing, oozy eyeball of the infirm. The surface is shriveled, and inside is squishy, not unlike a large, overly ripe grape. Give to the blind maiden to guide her to the distant light. So, this castle literally had a follower of the frenzied flame sitting in what appeared to be the back door of the castle. Interesting. We meet the what is essentially like the finger maiden of the three fingers here. Irene. Now I do have a question of whether if you actually look at her, you see this right here. Three circles. It's a symbol of the three fingers. I do wonder what this is whether it's kind of like her spirit's moving on, because her story really doesn't make a lot of sense. Like somehow she's walking across the land, makes it all the way down to the bowels of Lindell, to the door that contains the three fingers. Like how a blind person did all that is beyond me. Makes me wonder if this isn't kind of like a spirit, like we see with numerous people. Her physical body's dead, but her spirit lingers on. Or else this is her physical body, and what we talked to earlier was just her spirit. It's hard to say.
And I'm journeying in. Is someone there?
Now she's known as Hayata.
Hello? Is someone there? My name is Hayata, and I'm journeying in search of the distant light. If I might be so bold as to ask, would you donate any Shabriri grapes in your possession to me? My eyesight has been weak since birth, you see. I can't tell which way I'm supposed to go next, but when I eat one of those grapes, I can feel a distant light in the back of my eyes. It will lead me to my true duty as a finger maiden. Oh, many thanks to you. Now I can feel the distant light once more. You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you. You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of the...
Golden Seed, she's gone. I did hear. Oh.
You. Please. I can read them. Your fingers. Please, your fingers. Oh, bless you. Head to the foundation of gold tarnished. Traverse Rea Lucaria, glintstone eventide, and reunite the half crescents at the grand lift. Oh, but the bridge is collapsed and cannot be crossed. Only, why should that matter? Stormvale Castle still stands tall. You and Rio.
I have a horse goat that can get all the way across. I think I was running around at this point, nodding at stuff. Let's see. Yeah. I went down here. This area that's no longer it's got the high road cave. It goes all the way down to this thing right here, this golem. But it kind of stops because this whole area is collapsed. That's why I think the center of what looks like a big lake in the middle was part of a it's part of the floating city we get to later on. I think that's where it used to sit. Because this all leads down into something and just stops here because it's all collapsed. The land mass has been shifted around. We'll go back to the beginning because this is out of order. Go here. That's where I went to the Dragon Island there. Because now, after we killed him, there's more people here. Where we come in and we see the two fingers for the first time. This is open to us. So I'm assuming this is America's two fingers. I mean, it could kind of technically be ours, I guess, but I'm pretty sure it's America's. Rotted two fingers. Rapture.
Are you that new tarnished? You've done well. I am Enya, the finger reader. I intend
Lords of the Fingers, envoys to the greater will.
Now she appears to be slightly taller than the other finger readers we come across. Also, she's the only one I believe that has a name.
Look there. The fingers tremble to welcome you, Shardbearer. Let their wisdom wash over you.
Great Elden Ring, root of the Golden Order, anchor of all lands, giver of grace, wellspring of all joy.
Wellspring of all joy. It's actually it's an interesting phrase. All joy comes from the Golden Order itself, or the tree.
Until it was shattered, the tragic corruption of the Order has taken its toll. Across the realm, life lies in ruin, fallen to pieces. Foul curses and misery spread, unabating. But the greater will has not abandoned the realm, nor the life that inhabits it.
The greater will. The idea that there's something in the universe is essentially writing fate. Which, in many ways, it's true. If you look at the story of Elden Ring, you can say the Greater Will got rid of the giants for the Golden Order, and now it's time for the Golden Order to go away, for the next nation to come up in it. It might be the reason why we're here, is we could very much be the champion of this greater will. The Golden Order's stuck around far longer than it should have, and we're here to get rid of it and start the next nation, or the next ruler to take over. Which we see signs of that. We see it when we get to Lindell. That a new age is about to come about.
So it is that the tarnished are guided by grace, called to act. Brave tarnished, your great rune is a handsome shard of the Elden Ring. Seek another of its kind, to become Elden Lord and restore the Golden Order.
Let the words of the fingers guide you.
Whether anything it said is actually true. Really, the only person you find you can trust is this finger reader. Because she's literally the one that tells us to burn the Erd tree down. I don't think she's actually doing the will of the two fingers. I think she's doing the will of Queen Marika, I'll tell you the truth. What is this thing around her neck? I wonder. It's supposed to represent the crucible. If it is Marika's finger reader, I mean, she's pretty old at this point. She was there before the actual creation of the Golden Order.
Well, I see. A remembrance of gold has found its way into your possession. Demigods and even the creator of the champions are hewn by the Erd tree upon their end into remembrances. They are valuable indeed. These remembrances yet house the power of their former masters. And should you wish to wield that same power, well, you the strength of the fingers. Oh, do not recoil from my offer. The fingers guide us all. And you, Tarnished, you are here to take, are you not? Ah, great runes are the stuff of demigods, the children of the goddess, Queen Marika, she who is vessel of the Elden Ring.
This is important right here. Vessel of the Elden Ring. Because our jar friend, Alexander, actually, his storyline ends with him explaining that all vessels eventually break. The very end of his storyline. I think what it's doing is referencing Queen Marika. We're told through the story that Queen Marika was looking to get replaced. And I have a feeling that's the reason why why the two fingers were looking to replace her. It's because we see her at the end, her body's broken and shattered. And I have a feeling that, and you see it also in the trailers to the game. You see Radagon and her like fighting, as he's trying to reforge the ring, and you see the whole thing essentially fail, and you see the cracking of her body. I have a feeling that's the reason why they were trying to replace her, because to be the vessel of the Elden Ring, eventually your body just can no longer handle containing that much power, and eventually starts falling apart. And you see it with her; she's just literally in pieces at the end.
Tainted by the strength of their runes, her children warred, but none could become Elden Lord.
Tainted by the strength of the runes. Well, yeah, but the warring is was something that was kind of put forward with Marika. I don't think they necessarily warred because they wanted to. They were kind of like told to do it for one person to actually become the Elden Lord.
And so grace was extended to your
And part of the problem is they never actually, no one ever, since no one ever came about being the strongest, it kind of stopped the whole process. And now this whole process is in a state of just sitting still. Everything's decaying and falling apart. The world's not moving forward. And so here we are.
mind, the tarnished. Listen, the fingers speak.
The greater will has long renounced the demigods. Tarnished, show no mercy. Have their heads. Take all they have left.
Indeed. But remember one thing. The demigods are each and all the direct offspring of Queen Marika.
Important piece of information right there. For those who think Radagon is not Queen Marika or it's Queen Marika. I'll go into it more when I get to the next area, explaining what happened, how it actually works into the Radagon and like changing his teachings and whatnot. But they all are 100% the offspring of Queen Marika. Radagon's just another form of Queen Marika, more like a change in strategy. I think there's some. I have my theories of what happened there, why they went that route. I'll talk to them, talk about it when I get to the area. But that is important. They are all the direct offspring. They all come from her line.
Godric the Grafted was but a distant relation, the runt of the litter. His divine blood sorely diluted. Ah, the children tainted by the strength, and so
the great axe, wielded by Godric the Grafted. This golden battle axe is emblazoned with the figure of a beast representing the strength of Godfrey, first Elden Lord, patriarch of the golden lineage. Let's go on to the next one real fast. A dragon's head that was grafted on his left arm when he fought you. I've never used either one of these.
Of the fingers.
Come out.
Greetings.
Talk to her.
Nice to see you again. My name is Roderica. I should have told you sooner. Isn't this place impressive though? The round table hold, covert quarters of the two fingers, and gathering place of champions who vie to become Elden Lord. I never knew the guidance bestowed upon us Tarnished had such fantastic roots, although it's all a bit much for me, in truth. I'm still looking for my own purpose.
Part of me does wonder if what we were talking to there was a spirit back at the shack. I do wonder if maybe she died in the castle and her spirit was just sitting out there. It's like, there's really no reason how she'd figure out how to get to this place. Because she ends up staying in the very end. She never leaves as it burns away.
It's all a bit much for me, in truth. I'm still looking for my...
Still looking for a purpose. He says the same thing.
Ah, you appear to be doing well. Very good. Well then, would you like to learn an incantation? May the golden or...
New there. Oh, we do find Roger. Look closely right here. There are thorns sticking through his body. He screwed around with that thing down in the bottom of the castle, and now he's cursed. Can't walk. See the flies, you see the thorns.
Ah, we meet again after all. I apologize for any offense given by my bearing, but I'm quite unable to move, you see. So, what do you need? Ah, so you've met Dee.
Yes.
Dee is an old friend. We found ourselves journeying together for a time, bound by our exploration of death. But our paths have since diverged, never again to cross. Though that's hardly an uncommon fate for two friends. Dee was telling me that he discovered the mark of the centipede. The centipede is an ancient symbol of the curse mark. As long as whoever finds and uses it is not nefarious by nature, then we may be able to form an alliance. If only I could speak to them in person, and if they were like you, all the better.
They're not.
The misshapen corpse on the Stormveil. That is a sacred relic of the Black Knives plot, as that famed night of assassination is known. It happened during the golden age of the Erd Tree, long before the shattering of the Elden Ring. Someone stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from Malekith, the Black Blade, and on a bitter night, murdered Godwyn the Golden.
So that happened during the Golden Age when things were really good. Okay.
That was the first recorded death of a demigod in all history, and it became the catalyst. Soon, the Elden Ring was smashed, and thus sprang forth the war known as the Shattering. I once wished to become a scholar, you see. I've spent many an hour scouring the archives for knowledge of that fateful plot. The world has grown crooked, and if you intend to put it to rights, you'd better understand what happened to make it this way. And that thing is to blame for the shape I'm in now. I urge the utmost caution. Don't disturb the corpse more than necessary.
I have a feeling that's exactly what those knights in the castle did, is they were disturbing the corpse, disturbed the from the event. The eyes that was starting to sprout in the castle and essentially cursed them all.
Ah, you defeated Godric and claimed yourself a great rune. Looks like we both got what we wanted out of Stormvale, didn't we? Well done, friend. Something to mark the occasion.
You wanted to be
Go on.
cursed.
Take it.
You won't be needing it anymore.
As you might have guessed, I still can't move. My fighting days are behind me. No need to be polite. I've no use for it anymore.
Hello again. You haven't gone to see Garank yet, have you? Well, no rush. You do as you please. Just as long as he doesn't starve to death, eh?
Be sure to tell me if you...
You've received the wisdom of the Two Fingers, have you not? Then, just as promised, I bid you welcome. As a true member of the Round Table, I am known as Gideon Ofnir. As a Tarnished who wishes to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord, I am accumulating knowledge. To be all-knowing. You now belong to a select group of fellows. As such, I ask that you remain constant. You'll be after more great runes now, eh? Then as your fellow, allow me to divulge a little knowledge. The inheritors of the great runes, the Shard Bearers. We of the Round Table know the location of 5 of them, including the one you defeated. Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. General Radahn, who fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds. Praetor Rykard, Lord of the Volcano Manor of Mount Gelmir. Morgoth the Grace-Given, Veiled Monarch and Lord of Leyndell. And Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, ruler of Rhea Lucaria's Academy. You'll still be after more great runes, won't you? So, Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. Despite being the blood of Godfrey, first Elden Lord, he's a grotesque old fool grasping for power. His castle lies upon the cliff to Limgrave's northwest, but I suspect you know that well enough already. So, Godric the Grafted, despite being General Radahn, that his castle lies upon that I suspect you... General Radahn, the famed Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars, is a ferocious warrior. He fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds to Limgrave's east. And now Caelid has been engulfed by the Scarlet Rot. Even approaching the region is no mean feat.
Scourge of the Stars is actually... It's actually one of the most important things he says right there. Because it actually stops Ronnie's fate from going forward.
To a standstill in the Caelid Wilds to Limgrave's east. And now Caelid has been engulfed by the Scarlet Rot. Even approaching the region is no mean feat. I've heard survivors of Radahn's army are still in the wilds, staving off the rot with fire. And if it's true, I suspect Radahn is still there as well, in Caelid. Though, I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore. Praetor Rykard is the Lord of the Volcano Manor on Mount Gelmir. He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors, reviled for his serpentine demeanor. The volcano, Mount Gelmir, lies in the west of the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree. It was the stage of the most appalling battle in the entirety of the Shattering.
That's interesting. It's just the most appalling battle of the Shattering.
Rykard has committed the grave sin of blasphemy. marking himself as an enemy never to be forgiven.
Not Kaled. Like what the fighting in Mount Gilmer, that's still going on in the game. They're still fighting that war.
Morgoth the Grace-given is Lord of Leyndell, the capital city. It lies at the foot of the Erd Tree, in the east of the Altus Plateau. But the Two Fingers forbid us from venturing there, until we've acquired enough great runes to repair the Elden Ring. Set your sights elsewhere for the time being. The Veiled Monarch can wait. The Academy of Rhea Lucaria lies to Limgrave's north, towering over the mist-laden lands of Liurnia. Renala is queen of the Carian royals, who govern the Academy. But Renala herself is no demigod. Her beloved Radagon left her to become Queen Marika's second husband, taking the title of King Consort. The Great Rune dwells within the amber egg that was Radagon's gift to her. Well, what is it now?
I thought you'd receive a You again. I thought you'd receive a summons to the Round Table. Nefeli. We met at Stormvale. I'm glad to see you here. I have something for you. I found it in Godric's grafting grounds. You were the one to defeat him, I would hazard. Make good use of it. I don't intend to make a habit of scavenging corpses.
Unusual groups. I hear a hunger for vengeance. Boost maximum equipment load.
Ah, yes. I wonder if you've met my foster father. He's in his study. The room Encher's guarding just over there. If you haven't already, I advise you introduce yourself. Father is leader of the Round Table. I'm sure talking to him will be worth your while. It's about time I headed off. I'll see you again, warrior, should the fates deign it.
Well, what is... I understand you've been speaking to Nefeli. She's my daughter. I took her in when she lost the guidance of grace. Though a mere axe-wielding barbarian, her youthful credulity suited my purposes.
Right there shows you what kind of person he is. It's things that only suit his purpose. This is the foreshadowing. It's the reason why he's giving us all this information, because it all suits his purpose.
So I put her to work. Do not hesitate to employ her. Should her services benefit you, despite her looks, she is more than capable in the press of battle.
Now, of a challenger who's fell, those eyes tell a story. Of a challenger who's felled his mark. Find 'em well. Lay out your arms. The girl you brought here, she's crestfallen and can scarcely swing a blade. But she has a gift for spirit tuning. I saw another one like her long ago. Their eyes share the same hue. No matter.
It's all a bit much for me, in truth. I'm still looking for my own purpose. You're telling me I possess some kind of gift? I don't believe you. But if I do have this talent, and goodness knows it would be my first. I suppose I should try to hone it, shouldn't I? I'll ask Master Hugh to teach me. Certainly he does appear intimidating and holds no love for us tarnished. But I know he's trapped here at the Round Table Hold, so I can tell. He's a gentle soul underneath it all.
Back already, no matter. Are you out of your mind? Who'd stay with an ugly brute who only knows how to smith? Absurd. Besides, she'd never agree to it. I refuse to believe it. I don't doubt you, but I know when something's too good to be true.
If I do have a talent for spirit tuning, and goodness knows that would be a surprise, I suppose I should try to...
Would you like Mosa?
This is where you hug her and she starts talking about
You are so. I was known as a deathbed companion. Where I come from, after I received the warmth and lively vigor from a number of champions, I lay with the remains of an exalted noble. To grant him another chance at life, to do so is the purpose of my being. But before I could bear the noble into new life, I was awakened by the guidance of grace and chased from my birthplace. Pray, be kind. Despite all that, I still wish to be a deathbed companion. So please, let me hold you like this, as often as it takes. My dear, have you ever heard of Black Knife Prince? Dear Roger likes to talk of them when abed, and the ancient plot, in which the first of the demigods was slain. The black knives wielded by the assassins who committed the act, along with the impressions they made, somehow hide the truth of the conspiracy. These grand affairs are hardly my forte, but dear Roger began to weep as he spoke. In truth, I've heard tell from someone else about the Black Knife Prince that fascinate dear Roger so. But it wouldn't be right to give this to him, stuck as he is in the Round Table Hold. Perhaps you could make use of it?
she gives you the map to get the knife. It's in the next area. It's because she's a follower of the Prince of Death. There's a god. Might be her master she's talking about, told her about it.
I am pleased. Would you like the blessing? Would you like... Then good day to you.
Activate it, get it off yourself. I'm thinking... that would be for the next area to go to. This is it. Yeah, that's where I'm going to end this. The next one I will go and reactivate the first Elden Ring, talk a little bit about the tower, and then I'm heading off into Liurnia. See you on the next video.